Pretty good. How are you?
Good. Come here, buddy.
Hey, puppy.
Hey, how
Hello.
are you?
Quite well. Going on a walk. I'm at Wayne National Forest. I am at the Wildcat Hollow, or Holler, depending on where you were born, how you pronounce that. I am heading up into the wild here, next to this creek. I'm gonna set up my hammock in just a moment. Alright, so I found a crotch of this tree. Got my bungee. Got everything off the ground. No bugs, for the most part. I guess there might be ants, but no ticks. So up next I'm going to grab the hammock and the rain fly out of there. And when I do the gear review, just imagine that it's part of the gear, because I'm not going to count it before I set my hammock up, because I want to be comfortable. Alright, let's run a utility line for the rain fly. Look how cozy that is. So nice. Very pleasant. Today we're going to be looking at my gear set while I'm out in the field. Figured it was appropriate instead of doing it, at home when we're stuck in the house all the time. Figured I'd go out on a trip. So let's get into it. Right here on the outside, might as well just mention this. A scarf, pretty important for me at nighttime. Sometimes it gets a little crazy. And it's nice to wrap around my head when I'm sleeping. I've already got a hammock cocoon and I just like to have things over my head sometimes when I'm sleeping. It's really pleasant. and it's not that much weight, so I put it on the outside. This scout pack goes on the outside right here. It's empty right now, except for emergency stockpile. Sometimes you're in the middle of the woods and you just need a damn Twinkie. Anyway, so this pack here is a large field pack. It's 110 liters, not including the scout pack. And the scout pack is important for throwing all your food in it. I've got several bivy sacks of food, base materials like flour, baking powder, cornmeal, things like that to make bread. And a lot of bears out here, so I'm going to be stringing it up in a tree right over here. I'm not going to be cooking here either. I'll be cooking probably about 20 feet that way with a little fire. Before we get into the inside of this, obviously, we'll just point to the very bottom. It's a little cavity here. I have the hammock cocoon already hooked onto the hammock. And there's this little blue bag here is just the leftover rainfly bag. So it's just there temporarily. First, let's get into the scout camp, first let's get into the chest rig. I've mentioned this a lot in some of my other videos. I keep my knife right here so it's nice and quick access. This is a Pendleton Light Hunter. I don't like to carry an axe or a saw, but this splits wood just fine. If you know what you're doing, generally you can just, whack it with another little stick and you can split wood pretty easily. Inside the chest rig, we've got camera stuff on this side. More camera stuff. And yeah, selfie stick. And an emergency fire starter right here. Emergency fire starter with a flint and steel. I don't use it that often, but it's good to have it once in a while. Inside here I have a waterproof notebook that can be written in the rain, but only by pencil, so I got 3 spare pencils. I don't know, I don't really have a reason at the moment to write anything, but I could in the future, especially if I'm stuck somewhere. Alright, let's get into this. Got some raisins here for making bread. Cutting board. Fan. Quite pleasant, middle of nowhere. It's also good for fanning the flames when you don't have the energy to blow on fires. Now, clothes-wise, I only bring something to sleep in, something to hike in, and rain gear. That way I don't have to carry any extra clothes. I think I have 1 spare pair of underwear. Knee brace. Here's my clothes. Make sure it's in there. Oh, on the side pouches here, this is my amino energy cup. I use it for my pre-workout and as a coffee substitute. Solar battery. This part here is my, I guess I call it my bathroom. It's got my first aid kit, toilet paper, mosquito repellent, a water filter, a squeeze bottle for the water filter, and a bar of soap. Now, my first aid kit is pretty standard, but I add a couple things that are just for me, like activated charcoal and ibuprofen, in case you poison yourself or if you hurt yourself real bad. Oh, this lower pouch here, not very important, but it's got my rain gear and my backpack's rain fly. So the setup that goes around it. So depending on how much water's available, this one is a ½ gallon, but I do have 2 more, so I can carry a whole gallon depending on how far away water is. Generally I carry this one in the small of my back. It's the heaviest. I've got another one on my chest, and a third one if I know that I'm not going to be back to water pretty soon. This is for power in case I get into a place with limited sun, like we're at now. It's called a power pot. It's a thermokinetic generator. It's like old technology from like the 1850s, but we never had anything that was that ran on low enough voltage for it to work with anything until cell phones came along. So this charges at 5 volts, and depending on how fast it's boiling, you can charge faster. But if you start out your soup or something and it's not boiling yet, you're not going to get any power. So maybe just hold a little bit of water in it and keep boiling it and adding to it. That way you can always get your stuff charged. You can charge your stuff day or night. And finally, mess kit. It's my favorite bowl, stainless steel, and I use it to make bread. And this thing is an awesome mess kit. It's got 2 pots and 1 pan and an extra cup. So stuff that's not pictured is my boots. I've got the hammock cocoon and the hammock and the rainfly sitting there behind you. I've got all my food sitting here out of sight. It's in 2 bivy sacks, and I guess you saw the raisins, but yeah, I carry, like I said, base materials. I carry flour, baking powder, soybean oil. I carry salt, pepper, turmeric, soup stock, 2 packs of ramen noodles, the fancy kind. I can't remember what it's called, nongshim. I've got some garlic, and I believe that's it. If I'm missing something, I'll let you know below in the editing. One final thing here is a shamag. You can use this for a billion different things. Use it for a scarf, use it for an emergency blanket, use it for a seat when you're in the woods. I currently, oh yeah, this thing I'm sitting on is the it's an imprint basically for tents, but I just keep it on hand as an extra. I'll put this underneath my hammock if I know it's going to be a particularly muddy day. I don't want to be sliding around underneath my rainfly. So I'm putting this here now to show off some stuff, but I'll probably move it under there in a little bit. I think I've shown you all everything beyond this one spot right here. This area, this whole big sack, the long one on the side here, is used for either my tent and imprint for the tent or the rainfly and the hammock. They stack up on each other here, so the heaviest stuff is all around. So we've got rainfly or rain gear and backpack rainfly, bathroom, kitchen, shelter, emergency power for the phone and my camera, and I think that's about it, other than my knee brace, my hat for my rainfly. I think I got everything. Yep. So yeah, I'll take this with me. I'll do a multi-day backpacking trip, and the base materials that I bring with me allow me to stay for a long, long time. I could theoretically stay out for a week or 2 weeks or maybe longer if I use the wild plants around to supplement my diet and extend my flour. I can make flour from, if there's cattails around here, I can get some starches. I can also make some soup or add some stuff to my soup, like nettles, things of that nature that are around here just chilling. So anyway, if you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. I'll be doing some more stuff in the future regarding another plant walk video. I'll also do I think I also wanted to get in on some subscriber stories. If you guys have some stories in the woods that are particularly scary or just strange or even surreal, please email me and send them to me so I can read them off, and I will read them in the same way, first person, that I received them in. In the future, I want to get into a short story about my bear encounter that I had a couple years ago. It was kind of funny, and I think you guys will enjoy it. So, there's the hammock, all my gear. However, I have the food in the assault pack ahead. So if you're trying to keep bears away, get it at least 8 feet off the ground and 4 feet away from any of these Generally, the bigger branches, if there's one coming off, you want it to be 4 feet from the main stalk. But that bear is not going to be climbing up that. So it hangs up there, which is a good healthy pace away from my campsite. I'll probably do my cooking over here, but when I'm not ready to eat yet, but when I am, I have a very simple wrap around over here, and I can just unwrap it, lower it a little bit, get my food, and pull it back up. And it is dinner time. Stoked about it. So there's my noodles for the night. Pretty spicy. Here's the floating food. We're gonna raise it in just a minute when we're done. And absolutely packing out all the trash. Having a little fire while I eat. It's raining a little bit. That's no problem. Slept really well. This hammock cocoon is, oh man, it's amazing. And if you're hiking a long way, getting a lot of good sleep is important for healing. So I'll make some breakfast in a little bit. It's about 8 a.m. I've already packed everything up. Since it was raining, I didn't want to get anything wet, so I went ahead and packed up off camera. I grabbed my food bag, got everything back where it's supposed to be, and I'm wearing my rain gear. Looks like it's going to stop. I'm seeing some break in the clouds. This tree was a great place to stop. Back on the road. If you're noticing I'm not wearing my sun hat, it's because I'm wearing my my baseball cap, which helps hold my hood outwards for my rain gear. It's really perfect for that. But I don't need it at the moment. So this is just a sectional hike. I don't really cover a lot of miles during the day, but I'm not hiking the AT, so I really don't care. It's more about the journey for me rather than how fast I'm going. Just to test it out. I went one day in each direction. One day out, one day back. We're down in this valley, so it's really muddy right now. Plus it rained. But it was muddy earlier, muddy yesterday. A little crazy today. No big deal. So I came on here on a second hike because I want to bring my daughter out here. I like to teach her new things. She's 5. And I think she could really benefit from being out here. Plus there's a lot of plants that I know. Not too far from home, so that's pretty helpful. There's the parking lot. Finally made it. And what do you say we wash our feet in the stream one last time? There we go. Off we go. Now that I'm back at the truck, I have some forgetful mentions of things that I know I brought with me that I didn't mention in terms of food and stuff. I do have a little bag of mini wheats and some dry milk. I also have some carrots and a bunch of multivitamins in my first aid kit because I need to usually take those with my first meal since I'm just mostly eating a lot of wild edibles and stuff. And although I am set up for being out there for multiple weeks, I just wanted to test out the weight and see if it'd be worth it. And it is. It's very lovely. This weight travels well and really nicely on this bag. This check this out. This setup here really helps to balance it well, and I'm really happy with it. I couldn't be happier. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.